So Timothy Bradley will be moving up to welterweight to face Abregu. His original opponent, who they then jumped ship to go fight Maidana, which in all reality would probably be a better, well, it is probably a better fight as far as a better name for Bradley on his record. However, he's going up to 147 to face Abregu, so that should make things interesting in the welterweight division because what if Bradley decides to go back to junior welterweight and take the fight with Alexander and perhaps Khan, and then go back to welterweight and stake his claim there? Those that would really shake up the welterweight division quite a bit. Uh, could you imagine? Let's toy with the notion of Bradley versus Berto. You know, that's an interesting one. But I think Berto's quite bigger than Bradley. But hey, if he wants to get in there and rumble with the 147 pounders, then he's gonna have to rumble, young man, rumble. You know. So that's just interesting. Then they're talking about perhaps getting Angulo from the junior middleweight Angulo to fight on the undercard. Gary Shaw is looking to place Angulo in with Miguel Cotto, depending upon how Miguel fares against Yuri Foreman, which I think he may do well. So we may see an Angulo Cotto later in the year or early next year. That would be a good fight, and I think that would be a good second fight for Cotto after the Manny Pacquiao loss. Because this fight Yuri Foreman, he should do well and beat Yuri, and then he'll go and fight Angulo, and perhaps and more than likely beat Angulo. Because the last fight I saw Angulo in against dang, I forget his name. It was just here on recently. I forget his name. You guys remind me. But yeah, that kid looked like he was outworking Angulo in the early rounds. Then Angulo came back and totally just dominated the fight and destroyed him. So it'll be interesting to see him against someone like Cotto. But like I said before, Bradley decides to make any stay at 147, I would love to see him against Alexander and Amir Khan, and perhaps Maidana, depending upon how Maidana does in his next outing. But yeah, Timothy Bradley has a lot of good choices in front of him right now. I'm surprised he's taking the I wouldn't say easier because Abregu's he's not an easy fight, but he should win that. Bradley should win that fight. So I'm surprised he's taking a fight against Abregu instead of like making the fight happen with Devin Alexander. That still is something that escapes me. Like I don't understand because that's a great fight to me to make. And Amir Khan, I hear Prescott's calling Amir out now, so who knows? Like, and it's also a rumor that Khan is going to go back to England to make another title defense before coming back to the States late this year or early next year for a big marquee fight. So, that's going to be interesting to see. Boxing is rejuvenated. It's never lost its excitement to me totally, but it hasn't been as exciting as of late, because like I said, they got the junior welterweight division's looking good, the super middleweight division's looking good, the welterweight division's looking pretty good. And now we got David Haye, Tamaz Adamek, and the two Klitschko's. Those are two good fights either Klitschko can make, because I know they're not going to fight each other. So those either or can fight in those fights. So, you know, there's a lot of pretty good fights still out there. But, you know, boxing it's had its ups and downs, and I have to give it up to people like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao for bringing a lot of the attention to boxing. And now you have HBO and Showtime trying to capitalize on that by actually putting good fights together. You know, don't get me wrong, there's still like a lot of under the table dealings, this guy's ducking this guy, and a lot of bullshit. But overall, they look to me, they're looking like they can make some pretty good fights, man. So this is Invincible Armor. That's it. Holler back. Peace.